So we saw DJs enter TVs, something none of us ever thought was possible. Video mixing.
Yes.
Video mixing is what took DJs to TV.
So Krowbar,
yes,
as I was saying, you, from my view and my understanding, being in the scene at that time,
yes,
and seeing all the different changes that were happening in gospel, there was a lot of changes happening. I can understand how gospel was entering the beats.
yes.
I could understand how gospel was penetrating amongst youth culture. You've been doing these tours for so many years, so now these kids are coming out of, or when they close school, they're voting for the songs. Increased radio stations, but from the club perspective,
yes,
honestly speaking, because God was using all these different forces for gospel music to take over the scene,
to push his own agenda,
hands down. And I'm not, and if anybody has a problem with it, come back to me. Thank you so much for what you did in terms
God be the glory, man.
In terms of pushing gospel music within the club scene,
man. Really?
You know, DJs now, secular DJs now have gospel sets.
All of them.
Was that a culture when you first started?
It was not a culture before that. It wasn't at all. Wasn't at all.
Yeah, it's spoken for itself.
Now I see where you're coming from, man. Yeah. And so, with touring, now Kubamba.
First of all, man, bro, what's your story? Trying to act like he got $500,000 and he was used to it.
I never got that money immediately.
No, but then,
yes.
How did it feel? You've been broke, bro.
You see, the money.
You know your whole story you're telling me. Huh?
The money never came immediately. It didn't. It took. I won in 09. I won in 08, 28. That money came in February 2010.
You won in?
I won in December 28th of 2008. That half a mic landed in my account in February 2010.
Why?
I don't know.
Which corrupt guy was blocking you? You call a spade, me.
But let me tell you, it was a miracle in disguise at the same time.
Yeah, no,
that lateness came in handy.
So would you go to them and tell them, hey,
came
guys?
in handy. I followed up. I did follow up a few times that year, and they said, you know, financial year, budgets, what and what. But I said, but you guys knew this thing was coming. Customer, no, we had this kind of contract with these people. Now we had to amend contracts and stuff. These things take time. It was new. It was a very challenging season to go through with that. But it was me understanding corporate culture. You know, there are learning curves that hit you. Corporate culture is very funny. Corporate culture is if I go and do business with a corporation, they will tell you this is how we do things. Even you have your own way of doing things.
Yeah.
But when you're doing business with them, they don't want your way. You deal with them on their way. That is one thing I had to learn difficult. And thank God it happened. Because you get to understand corporate culture in a very interesting way.
I understand. I learned it from them.
And finances and how they work and stuff.
But there's lies and abuse. Let's also...
There's negligence. There's that, honestly.
Yes.
Plus there's manipulation. Exactly. You don't know what people are doing.
There's corruption.
And under there, there's corruption
what
also.
I mean is, if that was done today, let me give an example. Why I'm saying, there's somebody was Cesaring Chini.
Yes.
If that was done today, and you dare go put that out on social media,
yes,
I guarantee you, it won't take you them 20 days, not even 20 days, 2 days,
yes,
before that shows in your account.
Yeah.
Because you have won the thing.
Yes.
You are a year. That's even a financial year. When you look at a financial year, budgets, okay. But anyway, you got it. But what I was saying still, so the 20 Gs that you were making per gig.
Yes, that one was being handed immediately.
Yeah, but you weren't making that kind of money before.
No, we weren't.
So if you were doing 3 gigs a month,
yes,
that's 60 Gs that you're not making.
That was, man, my life to flip, bro. Winning that competition flipped my life. Not only with EABL gigs, but outside gigs. I remember my first corporate gig came from housing finance. They were doing a fun day, and one of the guys in leadership there said, I want that gospel DJ who won. And they looked for me until they found me.
And they paid you what you asked for.
And they paid me. Aki, for real, they looked for me until they found me. And they said, you have been requested to come and play at this gig.
Nice.
Yes.
And now you had equipment and gear.
Everything from transportation.
How long did they before they gave you the van?
We-
In fact, can we put a picture with the van right here?
Yes. It took like a month.
Hey, Krowbar,
It
you
took
came
like a month, man.
From walking from Futsubishi, you just came.
I remember the first time I went to pick that car in DT Dobby. You know, I had not even driven. I had a DL, but you know,
Yes.
you have a DL, but you haven't
Does it
driven.
fail?
I remember my good friend Benja. We used to go to church with him. He's the one who drove me
In your
for the
car.
first.
Because confidence, I'm not bragging.
I remember him. And I remember Andy Mboro used to
Yes.
drive me a lot. I remember Joey. I don't know whether you know Joey. Joey used to be my manager. Eventually after that, then we connected with Joey, and Joey started to manage me. Yeah, manzi. Yeah.
Joey, is he now in Churchill?
No, Joey used to do lights. The guy who does lights.
Yes,
That's
yes.
Joey. Joram.
Yes.
Yes.
I get it.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so
Yes.
I'm just trying to dwell because before this,
Before this, I was in a...
like you are living in more, you
me, I was
don't have
being
money.
taken. I remember even after that, when the following year came, in fact, after Mose had moved, the following year came, Jugush moved, and the sister moved. And so I was left in Waroko. And then I realized, I can't live in Waroko by myself. Plus, that car, it doesn't have a safe parking anymore. Now I have parking issues. Later. I have parking issues. Communicate. Another issue I had was getting insurance because you know when you get an expensive car, insurance is expensive.
It's great. In fact,
Remember, that car had a valuation of 2 million, and I'm here thinking, what is 10%? 200. I think the valuation. I think when I'm only pay 60 or 40 Gs for value for 5%. 5%. And you don't have, and the car has come. And you can't even drive it at that point. Thank God for Njoro Sonko. Njoro Sonko is a friend of mine who said, I'm going to pay for your insurance. You'll just pay me slowly.
nice. For real.
For real. He paid for that 1 year comprehensive cover for me. Then he said, you just give me 5 Gs until
You know,
clear
I
it."
see guys saying,
Yes.
I've seen a lot of musicians, for example,
Yes.
make the mistake of moving from walking
Yes.
to buying a Benz because money came. So you've never had the experience of gradually growing with cars.
Yes.
So you don't know, first of all, the price of insurance.
Yes.
Alafu service.
Service,
Alafu
fuel.
parts.
Yes,
Parts
parts.
for the car.
Yes.
Alafu you realize fuel expenses. Angalia wanza na yoto yo.
That 1 year was a huge learning curve for me. Huge learning curve for me. Just readjusting. It was relearning life again. Relearning valuation, how to present yourself, how to communicate properly. I remember even when we were going on these meetings, I wasn't that confident on presenting myself. If it wasn't for Joey just doing some of these things, I knew I couldn't do them by myself.
This is 2009, eh?
Yes.
Let's stick to 2009.
So how did Joey enter my life?
No. So first and foremost, you're telling me you signed the contract, you agree you're going to be doing gigs around.
Yes.
Fine.
Those gigs were done in 3 months. It was January, February, March.
Every weekend.
Every weekend I had a gig.
So you also, it wasn't for the whole year?
No, it was just for 3 months. It's a tour. We just go Kisii, Bungoma,
Yes.
Kitale, Kisumu, Nakuru, Eldoret, Nairobi.
From
Nyeri,
2009 January.
Nyahururu, yes, Mombasa, Voi. Like that. You just go stopping places here, there, like 12 places, and we were done.
Okay, so you do that, but that's money, revenue coming.
Yes, that's revenue.
But on top of that, you get this car.
Yes.
And the sound and the DJ equipment and everything else.
Yes.
So are you renting the sound? Are you?
No, at that point, remember, I'm doing these gigs and they have everything.
Oh.
So where did I stored that sound with a friend. I stored it somewhere because where I lived, I couldn't store it.
Yes.
Yes. It is until I moved to Kahawa Wendani, that's when I moved with the sound.
Okay.
Yes.
Even before we talk about moving. But now you're saying your name now starts
growing. Now, the biggest blessing in disguise was NTV Crossover 101. That was the blessing. Because I had already won, and I was in Kubamba, and they went to NTV. Okay. When they went to NTV, I was a different game. Because the DJ that we won, we're now seeing him on TV. Do you know how much visibility that is?
Yeah.
Gospel was not where it was.
Yep.
But the Sunday numbers were big.
You have to explain to people
What?
that before Crossover 101,
There was nothing like that before.
there was Stomp, which was just
Which was playback
which was playback music, videos back to back. Yes.
Atake comes to my story later on.
Okay.
But I'll tell you. So before that, there was no DJs on Sunday morning.
And before, I really like
DJing
explaining to
has
people
really changed.
the
Me, I saw
history.
DJing changed. Me, I saw DJing enter on TV. They start playing mixes on TV, recorded. Then at around 2008, I started seeing DJs playing live. Like Vibe City with Styles and Eve D'Souza.
The one with Black Star. What was the one with Black Star called?
Citizen.
It was an NTV.
The Cream de la Cream was at Citizen.
Oh,
I remember him playing at Citizen.
Yep.
Yes. At NTV, there used to be Homeboys DJs, DJ Wesley.
Yes.
Yes. So we saw DJs enter TVs, something none of us ever thought was possible. Video mixing.
Yes.
Video mixing is what took DJs to TV.
And in the back end, that Kubamba thing with Homeboys was in partnership with Homeboys.
It was in partnership with Homeboys. It was not a direct Kubamba contract.
Yes, but they knew this gospel. You see, by the time John Rabbi and the rest are seen, Sunday, this gospel thing, they are woke enough to understand that the industry is shifting to gospel.
Yeah.
That they can even say, let's do a full-time show
Yes.
on that station.
Yes.
Were you being paid for that?
No. Me, I don't know if people are being paid, but me, I never received a dime.
Okay.
Yeah. The money for TV changes later on.
Okay, sir.
So, me, I did a whole year on NTV with no pay. But I was not complaining. Do you know why? We were capitalizing on visibility. Because people would say, that DJ that plays on TV, that is the one I want for my wedding.
Ooh.
Is that making sense?
Yes.
So they might not pay, but you're capitalizing on that visibility.
So this time for real, they were giving you a platform.
Oh, they were giving you a platform.
And you were okay with it?
Me, I was okay.
Because you knew what it was
Me, I was
doing?
okay because I knew what it was doing on the back end.
Okay.
I knew what it was doing on the back end.
Is that now where you got a manager?
Around that point, how I ended up getting a manager was I got to know of Joey through DJ Johnny Celeb. Johnny Celeb was at KU, and Joey was at KU, and they were living and they were friends, and Joey was living at Wendani, and so out of that, because I was not so confident in my driving, Celeb said, "You partner with Joey so that Joey can help you adjust with these things." Boom, and just like that, Joey said, "Hey, there's a 2-bedroom, we can move in here at Wendani." And then that 2-bedroom came in. My bedroom was the storehouse and my bed at the same time. So all the speakers used to... There's a small video on my YouTube channel of me in a red Mfalme t-shirt. And maybe you'll play it here. You'll see me do some tricks. It is in that room. Yes, it is in that room.
That's powerful.
And so that's how me and Joey, our lives began.
Okay, and his role was now doing what?
Yeah, Joey's role was more of, if he hears of something, follows up on it, find out valuation for it. He was conversant with communicating. Me, I'm just running the back end of it.
You're the talent.
I am the talent. And then I did not have that capacity of changing hearts from talent to business. I didn't have that capacity yet. I was still a talent. You see, you learn these things as you go by because no one is teaching you anything.
Yep.
No one is holding your hand. No one is telling you this is how things go ahead. So the whole of 2009, it was just weddings here, weddings there, weddings there.
So how often do you think you are doing a gig every week?
No, we were doing a gig like twice a month.
Okay.
Twice a month, which was very sustainable for us. It was sustainable. And it was just slowly peaking. It was just
and now you have
peaking.
the sound. You're not doing. You also come with the sound.
So the biggest advantage was the profits were higher because you're not hiring anything. There's nothing we're hiring. Everything we need, we have.
Nice.
When you get,
I get it.
And so we did that whole 2009, just maneuvering like that. getting visibility on NTV. Then now the switcheroo came in 2010.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, I need to give you context. That 2009, let's go to
Kababy.
February 3rd.
Kababy.
So on one of those days, we're hanging out with this chick. This girl says, "What do you mean you have a plan?" Now eventually she wants to find out, what plan is this that you keep saying that you have? And I told
How long have you been telling her you have a plan? A year?
No, since August, September, October, November, December, January, February, like 6 months.
So when you meet
Have
her,
a
tell
plan.
her, I have a plan. When you
Just
SMS
know
her,
the plan is there. No, I don't tell her all the time.
Yes.
Yeah, but if that
But it
conversation
comes up, you tell her.
the plan is there. Then her response was, I'm going to
pray
play for your plans. And then the story now comes and moves into, she asks me, what are the plans? And I tell her, if you say yes to me right now, I'm going to marry you next year. And then she looks at me, and then she says, when next year? And then I say, April. She looks at me, she says, April is too soon. Then I say, when do you want it? And then she says, August. And from there, bro, every other meeting, we were planning for the wedding.
No way. Bro, is that how you engaged?
No, that's how
Yes.
she became my Chile. I haven't engaged her.
Yes.
Uh-uh.
No, but
She
I mean,
became my Chile.
so
yes.
you dated her for marriage,
Me, I dated for marriage.
and you made it clear to
I
her.
was not wasting her time. We don't marry people because we know them. Richie, if you ask, you can confidently say, the girl you married is not the girl you have now.
For sure.
For even me, I can confidently
For
tell
sure.
you, the girl I married is not the girl I have now. We marry because we find peace with someone. Yeah, you go like, I'm at peace with this decision. So because you find peace with the decision, you make a move. You find peace with two things, usually two things. It's beliefs and values. We believe the same thing. The Lord Jesus Christ is our personal Savior and stuff. And values, we go like, we have similar values in life, let's start life.
That's what it means to be equally yoked.
There you go. Those two, we marry because of those two reasons, nothing else. The rest we figure out to Kombele.
That's true.
And you know how marriage is. Marriage will show you who you are, bro. Marriage will show you who you are. And it will show your partner who they really are. Proper. So, we talk with the girl, she becomes my chiles. Now, every other meeting we are doing is planning towards the wedding.
A big question here.
Yes.
At this time, have you taken her to your mother's house?
Now, she has accepted. That 2009, that's when I took her.
That's the first girl you've taken to your mother's
That's
house?
the first girl I took to my mom's house. And I remember I called her and I said, hey, mom, ni aje. On this day, I'm coming with a girl. I want you to meet the girl I'm going to marry. And I took her home. And my mom was like, what? This is it, eh? No, this is it, man.
And your dad?
This is it. I even took the girl to my dad. I went and I told my dad, hey, Nyaji, I'm planning to get married. Would you... From that moment, my relationship with my dad changed. The moment he got that call that I'm planning to... This is going on and I want you to meet this girl. Remember, my dad looked at me very differently. It was like, and this boy is 24 years old. What is this boy thinking of?
You're 24?
I was 24 at that point, bro.
Yo.
I was 2009. Yup, I was 24. Because I got married at 25. Yes. So yeah. Here I am, Manzi. I went, take the girl. My mom blesses it. My mom is like, yeah, I like this girl. I like this girl. Even my dad goes like, yeah, we're good. Yeah, tunaendelea. Then from there, we register. But that comes in 2010 where we do premarital classes and stuff. Either we'll cross that bridge.
Yeah.
But now in 2009, it's more of growing. It's more of growing, it's more of learning, it's more of getting used in the industry. You know the way someone can call you for a gig, tell you I'll pay you on location, you set up, you do a gig, then they ruka you.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, I lost a lot of money in 2009. Rookie mistakes. because No one is telling
You're
you.
learning on the job.
You are learning on the job. You are learning on the job. You're getting abused at work and stuff. Now comes 2010. 2010, something interesting happens. Citizen TV happens, bro. Yeah. Citizen TV comes and poaches Kubamba from MTV.
Yes. A good one.
Bro.
Do you know?
Yes.
Actually, let me even say this.
Yes.
That is the official, in my view,
Yes.
takeover of the gospel.
Man.
Do you know why I
Yes.
say that? Because that is the night where Kubamba, 31st December,
Yes.
Groove were doing something in one stage, Kubamba was doing something on in a different location.
I remember that story.
Yes, and Kubamba were
Kubamba
live.
were on NTV. But their gig was being covered by
Citizen.
More Sound had a gig and their gig was being covered by More Sound.
Yes.
It was a huge clash. But the numbers translated really, really well for Citizen TV.
Yeah,
And NTV was
in
not a
fact,
small station
Citizen
then.
were at
Number 3 there or something.
no, Citizen that time, the Kubamba gig was at Nairobi Chapel.
Yes.
Packed. In fact, here's a clip of Giuliani performing
Yes.
from that thing.
I remember DJing at that gig.
So now for the Kubamba.
Yes. I DJed for the Kubamba end of year gig.
You know, with More Sound, and More Sound were at KICC.
Yes.
Full to the
yes.
brim.
Me, the first time I DJed for a More Sound gig was 2010. For real. I'll give you context. That story is coming.
Okay.
So here we come, we finish 09, Citizen comes. Citizen now comes with a solid budget for Sunday morning. And they give Akina Moz and Jugusha budget. And then we are all called for a meeting. And then I remember saying, if we ever go, and I remember people being asked how much they want to be paid and stuff. And I looked at this thing. I did not know how much money they were being given. But I remember saying, like, every time I go on air, I want to be paid. I remember saying something like that. Every time I go on air, I want to be paid. And I remember that was not okay. It didn't go well with them. They said, like, no, we want DJs on salary. We want DJs to be... And that is their business model. And I'm like, for real, you pursue your business model. But I went like, me, I want every time I go on air. Because no one was on contract. Everyone on Kubamba was on volunteer basis. We were all there for the bigger mission, for the bigger vision. And there was the Kubamba vision is a big vision. Representing Christ Jesus to the fullest.
No doubt.
Yeah. We all bought into that vision with no monetary incentive. But now, a few years down the line, now that there are commercial opportunities here, I said, I want to be paid every time I go on air. Because it's a business decision on the media house also.
Yep.
They're commercializing on
So this is an
visibility.
internal conversation that you're having.
This
with
is not
Kubamba.
internal conversation happening. Yes. And so my statement just didn't go well. And so with that, I remember I looked for Moz and I said, Moz, I want you to bless me and release me. I looked for him and I said, bless me and release me. Because me, I won't work like this. And Moz prayed for me and let me go.
Okay, I need to ask this question.
Yes.
I remember this season.
Yes.
So a lot of things are happening.
Yes.
Again, remember I'm telling you that gospel takeover.
Yes.
It is clear.
It is
and
clear,
We
yes.
have to thank Kevin Muley.
Yeah,
Kevin
definitely.
Muley was very instrumental
Yes.
in pushing the financial barrier within the gospel industry.
Yes.
Enabling gospel musicians to do amazing videos, make money.
Yes.
But here's the question.
Yes.
What's the balance between how actually not what's the balance? How do you make that? Because I remember your name became, if you say Krowbar is going to ask for loot. And I'm like, but I understand.
Yes.
Life is not free, rent and whatever there.
I got to a place, I think I lost a lot of financial opportunities in online because of ignorance. And one of my New Year resolutions for 2010 was I'm not going to be taken advantage of financially again.
Wonderful.
Yes.
So how did you navigate this thing? You remember, again, you're pioneering this thing of...
Now what happens
if you're not paying me my thing, by the way, imagine
if you're not paying me, I'm not there.
Yes. But then now, from a church perspective, guys could have been like, Angalia Umsiana. What happens now? They say, Anapenda Tudo.
People will talk. We can't live with how people talk. This is how I operated. I am in a home church, all right? If my home church then was Nairobi Lighthouse, if my home church needed me, because they water me, they will get me.
Yep.
That is my home. If they need me, they get me. My home church never needed me that much. They had Gigi, they had Sanj, Nanishika. Here I am, I had blown. Akina Gigi and Sanj had countless opportunities at that home church there. And so because of that, I'd never translated at home that one. And so with that, any other ministry that needed me, it's not my home church. It's business as usual. If it doesn't make economical sense, then nothing personal. We move on. If you take it personal, that is your own interpretation.
Did that affect your opportunities?
Yes.
And did that open up other opportunities?
Bro, thank God I said no. I said no for about 2 to 3 years to mediocrity. Bro, I said no for years.
Yep.
Years. I said a lot of no's in 2010, 2011, and half of 2012. That's when things changed for me. In 2010, any person who would call me and it would not make economical sense, I was out. I was out, bro. You need to understand, even though we are called of God and we are called to minister, this is work. And it is a lot of work. And and if you've been watching this CTA, you have an understanding of how much work it takes to prepare. I'm not a freestyle DJ. There are DJs who freestyle. Me, I'm a DJ who prepares. I sit with my clients, I find out who they are, where do they come from, what kind of music do they listen to and stuff.
Who's going to be the audience there?
Who's coming and stuff, so that when I'm preparing music, I prepare for your audience. Because you want your audience entertained at the end of the day. And so that is work. That takes time.
And let's also say
Yes.
you're the best at it.
And I'm really good at it. That is true.
There was evidence from them.
There was a lot of evidence that I was really good at it. And so with that, I just stopped entertaining certain nonsense. And so we continued. Those tunes, see, they landed in Feb. See, I'm here planning a wedding. Bro, tulilipa vitu ngapi na hiyo pesa?
Half a million.
Lord. That's when we bought Joy's dress, we paid for that, we paid for this, we paid for that. We paid for very many things with that money. So ilisaidia sana. So sikukuwa na stress kubwa sana ya harusi.
Yeah.
I didn't have a lot of stress with finalizing the wedding. I knew we were short by, I think on our wedding day we were short by about 60 Gs, and I knew that would take care of itself.
Yes. I get it.
And so with that, 2010 entered. Kina Kubamba went to Citizen. Me, I went my solo route. During that time I went solo, NTV remained empty because they left. So there was a spot over there. Is that making sense?
But I thought that spot was taken by Mo.
But it was empty for a few weeks. Just a few weeks.
Yes.
That's how Arthur K enters my life. Arthur K calls me and says, Krowbar, man, there's an opportunity here. But before we even say the word opportunity, my brother Mo is on air. It is okay.
There's an Oppo Mo.
Mo. Before we finish the word opportunity,
DJ Mo.
Mo is on air, my brother.
I've told DJ Mo and so I said,
yes,
I'll get them on CTA when I get to 1 million subscribers. I'm serious. Inakuja.
Watakuja tu siku itakam. And so when they went there, so I became free range.
So, but you played a bit there?
What? No, I never.
So he just told you there's an opportunity gone.
There was an opportunity gone. Gone.
Yes.
And so may I continue doing my weddings. At that point, there was a new radio station opening, 1FM.